Big Boy Billy Jr. And welcome to the Too Soon podcast. Oric is getting bored of his usual intro app, so this is what he's gonna do this time. Please put your hands to get her for Trenton, Oric, Liam, and TRE.
That's me.
TRE. I like TRE. Can we just call you that from now on?
Sure. Oh yeah, he's the notorious TRE.
Welcome everybody to Too Soon.
We already did
26.
that. Yeah, it's done.
Hey, we're doing the second one.
That's done.
Big Boy Billy Jr. took care of it.
It's time for you to associate the voices with the names. The Trent man, that's me. The board Oric is him. Eskimo Liam is going to say something now.
No, I'm not.
And then Trey throws things.
All sound effects brought to you by Trey.
Yep.
And they're not intentional. They're just present.
Who doesn't know how to put pillows on chairs? Because I think his pillow is upside down.
Oh yeah, it fell.
Oh yeah. Look at that. So this is the first time we see each other while recording this podcast.
Yeah,
ever.
It's the first time we're ever seeing each other.
Who are you?
Who is
Where
you?
are we?
Liam's got a hat. Trey's got a hairy chest. Tiggles is uninteresting, and I'm here.
My ass crack is pretty hairy.
Oh, that's not on camera, thank God.
Yeah.
Do you want it to be?
I said thank God at the end of that, so no. Though I don't believe in God, so I don't know who I'm thanking.
So yes.
Yeah, I guess.
I just realized now that whenever somebody tells a story that like I want to make a face to, like without anybody noticing, now everyone's gonna notice when I make that face.
Well,
I mean,
we could envision your face anyways.
Damn.
Your
Yeah,
silence. I know your silence face.
Yeah,
It's
I
usually
pulled
like-
I pulled the Jim from The Office where I just like look directly into the camera and I'm just like.
That's like the only face I see you ever make, though, is the one where you squinch up. Because remember, people, just because we see each other doesn't mean they can see us now. Yet. Maybe in the future.
They may see clips.
Maybe.
Possibly. Who knows? The world may never know.
Yeah, I feel
We'll
like
see
this
how much
is
effort.
gonna like fuck with our minds because since we see each other, we're gonna think like, oh, audio listeners do too. But
Yeah, now we'll have an audio-friendly podcast.
They can't see me.
well, not at what? Oh, yeah. Trey is like halfway off the screen,
Well, this may lead to some more interesting conversations, though, so...
or
This-
less.
Or less.
Yeah,
it all depends.
Or
but
just about the same
either-
amount.
Probably the same amount. But we do have some exciting stuff going on in this episode. Maybe after the second half,
You can
we
tell
might
by
have
the
some
tone of
more
his voice.
emails.
More email.
But we'll save that for later.
More email.
Yeah, there's only
Singular.
one.
Also, just for future reference, if you're gonna send an email and you know us, maybe just say how you know us.
Yeah, let us know that you know us.
That way, it's like if you don't know us, it's more important because then it's like we don't know.
Yeah,
you.
Surprising.
We have friends.
Yeah. But thank you.
Yeah,
regardless.
because due to internet culture, we all have a second name that we give ourselves or other people give us. It all depends on your username story. But yeah, when you
Norse
Yeah, my
Nova
slave
slash
name is,
official A Nova.
/ Thor
The
baby.
official
Well,
Anova.
Yeah,
Not
that was.
unofficial.
Did I ever tell the story
Official.
behind that gamertag on the podcast?
No, but let's hear it anyway.
Well, that would be the answer that would make me. Basically, I didn't know what a gamertag was when I made my gamertag, so I went with Oric20 because that's just, I don't know, it just came up, and by doing that, I had already had an Xbox account that I made by accident, I guess, called Oric20. And so it didn't let me have that gamer tag because it was already taken by me. So it suggested a bunch of other ones, and it suggested official A Nova. So I just went with that. And for like 6-7 years, how long was I on Xbox for? A while. I was called official until like 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
I would say we were all very, very active on Xbox Live, our old friend group, up until about the launch of Halo 4. Then that's when everything started.
So
kinda
like
dying
3
off.
days ago.
Well, we're on Halo 5 now, and that's been out for quite
Oh
some
man,
time.
I'm dating this podcast. 3 days
Dating
after
it
Halo 4
incorrectly.
came out.
Yeah, you guys excited for Halo 4?
Yeah, Halo 4
Can't
is my
wait.
favorite of the Halo games.
I don't have an Xbox.
Yeah,
I have a PlayStation.
I have one. I don't have
There's
Xbox
3 in
Live
my
anymore,
house.
I got 3.
Yeah, in my I mentioned this I think last week, but yeah, 3 Xboxes in the house, a PS4, Switch, and then my PC.
And 4 of those, how many things you say? 6 are yours?
The PS4, 1 Xbox, 1 Switch. Oh, wait, there's 2 Switches in the house. My roommate has a Switch, yeah.
So of the 7 things, 4
Do you
are
ever
yours.
swap switches?
Do you ever switch switches?
I was gonna say that, but I wanted it a little bit better. So
My Switch, this one here, it's the red and the blue one. His is the gray one.
not gonna
So it's
question
well, I meant
was
intentionally. You ever trade, swap, switch,
switches.
alternate?
he hasn't really put his Switch out much since we moved in.
You seem
Well,
so
what a
depressed about
scrub.
that.
But no, one convenient thing about having 2 Switch owners in the same house, though, if you guys don't know how the Switch works, is the docks that you actually plug in the Switch to play on your TV. We have 2 in the house now, so we can have one upstairs and one downstairs. So if I want to bring my Switch downstairs, I can put it in his dock, and then if he wants to bring his Switch upstairs, he can put it in my dock.
So would you say that
we're
you
sharing docks.
frequently dock your gay
you
roommates?
dock with other guys.
Docking.
Only the ones that like Nintendo.
So the ones
He's a
that don't
picky
like
boy.
Nintendo, you won't dock with.
No.
That's your
sounds about right.
criteria.
Yeah, you have to like Nintendo and have a Nintendo Switch
And
for
have
me
a
to dock
butthole.
with you.
I mean, I hope you guys
I'm like,
realize
you don't dock
that
with buttholes.
the darkest
Oh, yeah.
man here is trying to use his power of camouflage to hide something in his hair.
Yeah. Huh? What?
What you talking about?
Your room is so dark and you're so dark that I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty dark right now.
Well, you too, but that's not. You weren't the person I was referring to. How many pencils do you have in your hair right now? For our audio listeners,
Don't
which
say-
is all of you, Trey's got pencils in his hair.
Yeah.
More than one.
More. Well, that's what the S in pencils suggests. But thanks
wanna
for
say
clarifying.
I want to say about more than one.
About more than one is definitely accurate.
Well, he's
considering
right.
there's at least 2. How many other ways can we say that?
Guys, how many pencils do you think I can fit? Let's
How much
see.
airtime do you think we could take up with talking about how many pencils you got in your hair?
A lot.
Definitely less than 50.
I'm making a lot of noise,
Just
but it's
50?
alright.
And you care to add a unit? I'll judge by the yawn.
Oh, here's
that-
Milo, everybody.
Yeah, well, not
Look, it's a
everybody, just
Milo.
us.
Here's Milo, everybody.
Well, you gotta. This part has to be clipped in order
Alright.
for it to be everybody.
How many pencils do you think I can fit?
Holy shit! You have a lot of pencils.
Yo, why
a
do you
lot
have
of
so many
writing.
pencils?
He's a
don't-
rapper. Have you guys not?
I gotta write
you
them
guys
lyrics. I
don't
go through a
remember that?
pencil a day.
I was gonna say you're not even in school right now. What are you writing?
My rap.
His-
My rap
his
game's
rap,
strong.
Yeah.
So why don't you just type that? And do you actually rap? I have no idea.
I did not notice.
Rap
Just
right now.
just ask him to pull out his notebook.
Yo, I
Pull
got
out
a
your
notebook.
notebook.
Look at it's a little notebook.
No, rap
That's
notebook.
the link dump.
It's my little notebook.
His little link dump.
You want me to pull out the notebook? The notebook?
All right, read us a few verses.
Alright, let's see. The Pacergram Fitness. No.
Pagegram fitness test.
Nah, I don't rap.
Oh.
I'm not terrible at rapping.
So then what's
And I
with
was
all
just-
the pencils?
This is, I don't know.
You just really like going to Staples?
No, these are like old.
So you
Like
really
when I was
liked
in
going to
school.
Staples?
I used to like Staples.
Yeah, I just
Not
go
anymore.
there.
I'm an
like what I
office mate
do.
guy now.
I go to Staples and I
has a
steal a
crush on
pencil,
one of the
like one
cashiers.
pencil out of a pack. And I just do that every day.
All right, we should get. I think we should get some topics going here, and I got one for Liam.
Go ahead.
All right, Liam, what's your relationship with exercise?
I know the answer to that.
It's complicated. If it was a Facebook relationship, it would be complicated. Like, I exercise occasionally, not to the extent that many people do. I used to run.
Can I ask what inspired this question?
Seeing his face.
Okay. That sounds like he's fat.
What does that
sounds
mean?
like he's a
Yeah, you
fat
call me
person.
fat?
You have a fat face.
I mean,
Yo, that's
I'm
fucked
saying
up,
he's
man.
not thick.
Oh yeah, I have a fast metabolism.
Lucky you.
I got one of them fast metabolisms. I do the eating and then I don't get the fat.
Well, considering you're of Irish origin and the Irish stomach has to funnel and go through more harmful liquids and chemicals than most people's stomachs. Yeah, I'm sure you have a fast metabolism.
This book's about a potato famine.
Look, when the only two things in your stomach is alcohol and
Do
potatoes,
they run out of potatoes and they can't make
you learn how to
alcohol
digest
anymore?
quickly.
Everybody died in the potato famine.
All I have is milk and pizza.
And
Ooh.
you're looking good.
Do you guys want me to push the
My
button?
milk. For those watching this,
Do you guys
want me to
push the button?
push what button?
Do you want
me to push the button?
I mean, I'm far enough away that I don't care what button you press. There you go.
I pushed the button.
As long as it's not the nuke New York, then I'm fine.
No,
That was a
that's
Street
Trump's
Fighter
button.
figurine, right?
Yeah.
Have we all heard an Eminem song before?
Well, that's
at
just
least
The
Well,
one
I
one?
think
about
with the
spaghetti
candies.
or
I've never heard an M&M, but I do eat them occasionally. They're pretty good.
Well,
Pretzel
I hear them
M&Ms.
in in the
Top tier.
commercials that show up in theaters every now and then. They always complain about having cell phones out,
Yeah,
but
damn fucking candy. No, but you guys heard about Eminem's diss track to Trump?
I heard
No,
about
I
it,
had
didn't
not.
listen to it, so I don't really
I
care.
should listen to that.
So
Ooh.
it wasn't really a diss track. It was just him freestyling at the BET Awards or something like that. Something BET related.
It was a
Okay.
cipher.
It was what?
It was a cipher.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It's usually multiple artists that rap on the same track together.
Oh.
Freestyle-esque.
Well, no. Well, he freestyled on TV, and there's a video on the BET website
Yeah, it was a cipher.
or YouTube channel. So there were other parts in that.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because I only saw.
I
like, the
heard.
Eminem
I
part
saw
of
it as a cipher. So I don't know.
did you guys hear that Ricegum diss track?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
That was fire. I actually enjoyed
That
that.
was so
a
fucking
lot.
funny.
I
Have you guys seen all the other Content Cops?
Yeah, I
Yes,
love
I
iDubbbz.
I'm not talking about
he's,
content track. I'm talking about the diss track Ricegum did.
Oh,
I didn't
I
see
didn't see his.
the counter diss track.
Yeah.
Did he really?
No.
He should have just quit the internet. That's the only response you could have that's appropriate. Is just quit.
Yeah.
Leave while you're ahead. How does this guy make money? I don't even know who he is.
He just has a lot of ad revenue.
That's
Yeah.
stupid.
He's a.
He's just like a super anti-vlogger character where he just basically just goes around just bees like he on
He
his
bees?
channel. He eats the bees, but no,
He bees in the trap.
I was emulating
Not the
his
bees.
language there.
Yeah.
but no, basically he's just an obnoxious asshole. Like he's
Yeah, he just looks like an
honestly
idiot.
yeah, he's just an obnoxious Asian version of the Paul brothers, but worse.
That's
like,
why.
much worse.
That's why iDubbbz referred to him as Asian Jake Paul.
Yes. Because, like, at least with Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul, they kind of seem like that. They kind of mean well, but they're just really stupid.
I think they
He-
just
like-
understand what their stupid audience wants from their stupid content, and they produce it.
Yes.
While on the
they're
other
pretty
end,
simple.
geniuses at this
The
point.
Ricegum kid is he knows what his audience wants, but not only does he know what the audience wants,
It's like really
he then
bad.
basically, you know what? I'm gonna give them extra. I'm gonna give them twice the amount of cancer they're expecting.
Well,
It's just
twice the amount of views.
yeah, pretty much.
If only we knew what our audience wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe fucking email.
Hey,
Or
email us.
tweet
Let us
us.
know what
Two
what to do
emails in a
better.
row, so I ain't complaining.
Ask us
Also
if you
follow
want
us on
us
Twitter
to
at Too Soon Podcast.
let us know if you want us to interview a rape victim.
Well, good luck finding one. I guess. Oh, you actually have a picture. You wrote down Twitter. No one's even gonna see this. Liam's currently holding out a written out note of all of our links.
Did you write that down now, or is that just what you
No,
refer
I've
to?
had this written down since episode 1.
Jeez.
What's that crossed out over there?
SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Is that
SoundCloud's
half a
expensive.
swastika to the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I actually have a story that pertains to swastika.
Oh yeah.
Now that we're on the topic of Hitler, so my family, has been chronicled on this, chronicled on this podcast. I recently moved and we have a new house and all this fun stuff. But we recently took down a bunch of paneling in a room, and behind one of the panels was just a painted on swastika on the wall, and then right underneath it was HITL, and they didn't finish writing Hitler.
It's like they got caught in the middle of it.
Yeah, they're
It's like this group of teenage kids came along, and then their mom walked in right in the middle of writing Hitler, and they just scram. And then they put wood on it.
Yeah, they just paneled over the
Cheese
entire
it!
walls.
Get out!
That's why the wood paneling doesn't look good, is because they had no
it
time
also
to
looked
style
like
it.
shit.
They had guests coming over that night. They needed to cover
It said
up
Hitler.
It said almost Hitler.
Yeah, there was a swastika. Yeah, but I got called down in the middle of doing my homework to Liam, you need to see this. And so I was like, nice. The previous owners of this house were assholes.
Well, at least the kids likely who did that were.
Or an adult that was a
I don't
white
know.
supremacist.
If you're the adult, you're not going to stop writing Hitler. If you
Yeah,
made
you
it
might
your
be.
mission to write Hitler on your wall, you're going to complete it because you can.
Yeah,
Who's
especially
going to
if
stop
it's your
you?
house.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
fucking
fucking own your house, you can write Hitler on every wall if you
Hey,
want.
maybe it was like a construction worker, because we're assuming that it was done like,
What was the handwriting like? Was it in crayon?
no, it was in fucking paint.
Oh,
Someone did it with
like,
a paintbrush,
How wide was the paintbrush?
like a paint a wall paintbrush.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they were just having a good time because
So
that's
perhaps
what you do.
then, as a project for the Too Soon community, maybe we all should start ripping down panels on our walls and see what.
Yeah, if you have
what
panels
kind of,
on
hate
your
groups.
walls, rip them down
Look
and
under
see
'em.
what's written on the wall.
Well, here if this video ever comes out, I can show the hole in my roof. It's the closest I can come to a panel that's ripped off.
Oh,
Yeah,
too bad Trey
what was
said it isn't in
underneath
his
that
room,
hole?
or he could show the hole in his roof.
I'm glad that today it rained pretty hard on my way back, and I was expecting there to be a puddle, but there wasn't. And so I think me putting 2 tarps on my roof has slowed the process of decay. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully, in the case of a flood, you know how to get your PC out quickly.
Well, it wouldn't flood. It just drips, and the rug always gets wet, but we put like a plastic garbage bag under it so that it wouldn't warp the floors.
I don't know if you guys heard about that, but we had like 3-4 hurricanes like in like a day of each other.
Yeah, that shit
The
was
world's
nuts.
ending.
Yeah,
so,
and also
And
California's on
Donald Trump's the
fire.
president.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ is coming back, so get your PC ready.
Yep. Protect your
PCs
PC
ready.
above all else. The apocalypse
Is that one
coming.
of the signs of the second coming of Christ? 3 hurricanes,
And
fires.
Lots of fire.
The master race finally
A
comes
small
to an
loan
end.
of $1 million.
Grab him by the pussy.
When the PC master race finally ends, that's how we know.
Yep.
A lot of sexual assault and harassment in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that's been happening a lot.
Yeah, Weinstein, right?
Yeah.
Was it Harvey Weinstein? What's his first name?
I think it started with an H.
Yeah, probably. I recognize the name and the
Probably
face,
ends in a
but I don't-
consonant. Could end in a vowel too. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Probably. I think it starts with a consonant, maybe ends in a vowel.
Maybe.
Let's keep talking about
Maybe.
the letters in his name.
Yeah.
I mean, Nova's last name ends with a vowel.
Good job. A is a vowel, yes. But the original version of my name was Nova Vostovsky, which I guess still ends in a vowel.
Also ends with a vowel.
Yeah.
Crazy enough.
But Ellis Island was like, no, what is that shit? Get rid
The
of
original
that.
version of my name wasn't just Diana. It was, hey, little bitch Diana. So they shortened it down.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
they shortened it
I
down
think,
to
I think
Little
Ellis Island
Bitch
would have been
Diana.
okay with that, honestly. They'd be like, this has a story behind it. Let's keep
This has a
that.
pretty good story behind it.
This child has been troubled.
For generations, it seems.
Yeah.
My family actually has a lot of stories from Ellis Island, other than the fact that I don't know why I just picked this up, but my
There you go.
what the fuck? I guess great grandmother. Yeah, she she had a fucked up eye, I believe. So because she was afraid that they were going to turn her away because of her weird looking eye, her husband, who's like this is the weirdest problem solving thing I've ever heard, decided to
Here, have mine.
He went into the bathroom and he got a shit ton of toilet paper. It reminds me of an SNL skit. And he shoved it in his pants to make it look like he had a huge dick. And instead of looking at his wife's eye, everyone was like, "What's in your pants?" But because it was the 20s or whatever, they weren't going to tell him to take his pants off. So all the guards were just distracted by his giant package, and they walked on in.
Yeah, you, sir. Let me see those pants.
Why are you giving me that look, Liam?
Terrible eye lady and man with giant penis walk through. We're like, hold up. That's a nice penis.
Wait a fucking second, dude. You got a
That's
big
the
dick.
story. There's a lot of weird old stories. My great grandfather cut off the head of his employer because he was going to get fired. So
Good.
instead of
That's how
getting
you gotta
fired,
do things.
he killed the guy and kept his job.
Fight fire with fire.
He cut off his head with a sword that may or may not have been this sword.
That
Not
exact
sure.
sword.
It might be because this is his sword. I don't know if it's the same sword. I would find it pretty hard to cut someone's head off with this.
Yeah, I
I got a
mean,
little
if I was going to go...
It's a little
Yeah, I
sword.
mean, if I was going to go for like some beheading, I wouldn't want to go for such a short,
Like
thin
basically
sword.
a dagger. Yeah, he's a badass. Then we have a lot of like thieves and con artists in the family that one way
Sounds like
they
a
would
Nova
steal.
Vyskotsky thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, the Great Depression fucks with people, but the way that my ancestors would get furniture is they would go into a furniture store with a friend and they would wear matching hats, and then they'd pick up a couch and leave, and that was it. If you're wearing matching hats, it looks like you're supposed to be doing what you're doing. So they just do that and leave.
Yo,
and
that's some smart shit, though.
it blows my mind every time I hear a new story of my family. They also would they had like what's it called, sleight of hand skills. So when they would go, if they wanted jewelry, if they wanted to give a girl some jewelry, they would they'd go and to the shop and they would just say, "Hey, can I see this one? Hey, can I see that one? I want to see this, that, and this." And they would just do weird shit with their hands that I don't know, and they would confuse the person behind the counter, and they would just take a diamond. So that's how, I guess,
Some pretty impressive shit.
we got started.
That's how the good old Nova Vyskotskys got started.
Yeah, then we got into, what's it called, I guess the fashion industry for a little while. Then that went under, and now we're poor.
Well, in the modern
I got a
day
hole
with,
in my roof.
with cashiering, similar things still happen with just cash.
With quiche.
Like you'll with the quiche mooney, but you'll hear stories about like any type of place that deals with physical cash, which is still most businesses.
I would say all businesses.
Well, not like online
Sal's for
businesses.
sure.
Yeah, Sal's.
They don't take cards.
Do you know what they deliver? It's
They
crazy.
do deliver. They don't take cards for that either.
They don't deliver here.
That's past the
closer,
6
boy.
mile mark.
Yo, that's expensive.
It is.
Nah.
But like, if you do any kind of like retail job or any kind of like cashiering job where you handle money, you'll hear stories about how people, like customers, will come up and be like, "Hey, can I get like change?" Like they'll bring like $100 bill, "Can I get change?" And they'll somehow use like magic words and like exchanging of things, everything, and somehow leave with more money than you.
Yeah. Well, it's basically the same thing that like magicians do. It's sleight of hand and distraction.
Yo, I love magic.
Yeah, man. I love it when people bend forks with their mind, but really what they did was they went around their back and bent it a bunch and then bent it back and then went like, and then it fell.
Should we ready for shit?
We got a, what's it called?
Got a rogue
Grill?
woman in my back.
I was gonna go the television term, but I
Damn.
don't remember it.
Salty. You guys remember Criss Angel?
Yeah,
Yes.
Criss Angel, Mind Freak.
Yeah,
He was a mind freak. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy shit.
You know, how dumb is it that a show about illusions on a TV show was popular?
Yeah, it's pretty stupid because the amount of things you could do with a camera and editing to believe
I
anything
remember
you see
one
through
of his
video
most
is
like
dumb.
popular illusions was him walking on water, and literally the entire illusion was, let's put clear glass blocks
Yeah,
in
no,
the
it's like,
water.
and everyone's like bugging out. They're like, whoa.
How you do that?
And they're like, look, people are swimming in the pool still. It's obviously real.
They're swimming underneath it. It's not a glass bridge or anything.
And I bet he did a whole lot of weird body language that looks like magic and shit, but he's just walking
100%.
on a block.
Does he still have his Vegas show?
Probably.
I don't know, maybe he got shot.
Stop, Milo.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon. podcast. Hashtag
It's
follow
been
us
a
on
week,
Twitter.
right?
I mean, he
Let's
could
take
have
a
been part of
break.
that crowd.
Maybe he
take a
was the
break.
shooter.
Let's take a break before this gets worse. All right, we'll see you after our break. You know, you'll hear some words from some sponsors, maybe.
Good time for a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
totally just perfect transition.
Hey, books! There, I fixed it.
Yeah, I love books. Don't you guys love
All right,
books?
guys. We'll be back with some emails after the break. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll try not to be garbage.
For the listeners of the Too Soon podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I'm dyslexic, and for me, reading doesn't come easy. When I was introduced to audiobooks, it honestly changed my life as a student. Instead of spending hours on just a few chapters, I was able to finish my reading assignments in a reasonable time, obtain a greater understanding of the material, and actually enjoy books in general. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/toosoon. Again, that's audibletrial.com/toosoon for your free audiobook.
And we're back.
That was
So
That
Trey,
was
you
a
want to
longer break than
explain why
usual.
your mom's afraid to get gas? I thought I'd blindside him with that.
for all you audio listeners.
During the break,
Trey is not making a happy face.
Trey
It's dark.
disappeared for quite some time to go
It's
get gas for
spooky
his
out.
mom.
This is actually being continued the next day.
And Trenton informed us that the reason for this is because his mom is afraid to get gas on her own.
It's spooky.
It's
It is October.
that's life.
Yeah, it is October. It is spooky. All right.
Don't ever let her move to a city
that's it.
then, I guess.
She works in one.
Well, she better not get gas. Because it's
She doesn't.
scary.
That's why she waits for her to go home.
What if she runs out of gas?
Then she asks a stranger to help her.
That's the worst
Yeah, I
idea.
feel like that's worse than.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What do you got there? Snapple? Is that a Snapple?
Is that a
You
snap
got,
fact?
you got a
No.
Snapple? Did you get that at the gas
What?
station?
What's the
not-
fact?
no.
What's the
You-
what's the
You
fact?
take extra
it's not
time to go into the gas station store and buy a Snapple instead of rushing back to complete the podcast?
Well, I had to
I
use
mean,
cash.
here's
so.
the thing: everybody's Russian.
No, everybody comes from Africa, not Russia.
Everybody's rushing down to the bus stop.
Yeah, how's your fucking hockey game going, huh?
It's going pretty well, actually.
You can't hide that you're playing this. But I guess I can't really hide that I'm watching the Yankee game right now because anytime I look to my
Well,
left,
one of
that's
those is
what
a
I'm
passive activity.
I'm not watching the Yankee game either.
doing. Yeah, he's not doing both.
No way. What do you think I am?
So how's your game going versus how the Yankee game is going?
It's close to the same. I'm winning 3-1. Yankees are only winning 3-2.
Yep. This is recorded on the 11th, so that's the Yankee game we're referring
Yeah,
to.
Yankees
11.
are playing the
11.
Cleveland Indians.
The Cleveland
Cleveland
racist
Seniors?
name for a baseball team.
Is Indian really
All right.
racist? per
I
se?
mean, it's not so much the name, it's the caricature of it.
yeah.
That's
They're- Well,
I
they
mean,
did-
I'm not-
They
I'm
did
not-
change the base character. They
Did
have
they?
changed it just to the C for Cleveland.
If the whole
okay.
team was nothing but Indians, would it be racist?
no.
Well, it's also terrible that not only do a group of people that were here first get called the wrong thing because of a mistake, then culturally, for the rest of existence, is that pushed in their face like forever?
From what I've learned from the Native Americans that I've met in Jackson Hole, they don't really give a shit.
I doubt they care too much, but it's
they're Indian. They're like, whatever. As long as you identify us as a group of people, that's all we care about.
Yeah, as long as we're not like savages anymore.
But I'm sure that opinion is not universal, because nothing ever is amongst a group of people. Nothing is ever one thing.
Well, I imagine modern Native Americans care a lot less than some of their ancestors did about a lot of stuff.
I can imagine.
Well, they got their casinos, and those are probably pretty helpful.
Some of them.
And it also helps.
All Native Americans.
All of them have casinos.
Terrible
all
gambling
tribes.
that is within.
All right, but as promised, we brought the emails. This one's
we brought it, paper in hand.
Yep.
All right.
Can I read it?
I got it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have it pulled up, Trey?
No.
All right, then I'm going to read it.
Oh no, my thing got all wet. I didn't even realize.
Okay, so this week's email is coming from a guy named Harry Smith. Shout out to Harry.
Is he Harry?
Yeah.
And by the way, like I mentioned last week, if you do not want something mentioned like your name, put so in the email.
Puts
I'm going to put said in the email.
Puts it in the email.
Make a fake
Puts
one.
it in the email. Let us know what you don't want us to read or not read. But Harry asks, can you maybe do a podcast about old games versus new games? Well, we're not going to do a whole podcast about that.
Because we can't talk about a single topic for an entire podcast, regardless of if we want to or not.
This isn't a purely gaming podcast.
It's a partial gaming podcast.
It's heavily reliant.
That's our next show, the partial gaming podcast.
Once this one flops, which it already has.
Yeah.
It'll be the same exact
we
show.
We actually just recently passed 10,000 downloads.
Didn't you
total.
say that last week or whatever?
Yeah, but it's still just recently.
It's still a fact.
It.
We didn't revert back to less than 10,000.
We're still on like 10,050 or something.
But at this point, it's a little wonky to just kind of like go by that number, like total downloads, because we have 26 episodes. Well, this will be the 26th, and it's been a while since the first one.
It's been a while.
Like how long have we been doing this? We started this before summer, right?
Yeah,
we started this in
before
like
summer.
I think we started the start of April.
We should figure out the exact day that we started so that we can have our anniversary.
On our Twitter and our YouTube, our age is the exact day we started.
Ah, okay, that's cool.
So,
that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Trey is really just a shadow. He's like less of a shadow than the rest of the shadow.
You're so racist.
It's also just your room's dark.
All right. Well, before we steer too off topic, we are actually going to talk about what
that's
he
a different
wrote,
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Partial Gaming Podcast will talk about your topic in their first episode. But no, okay, but we're going to talk about those. So he didn't go into very much detail about exactly what he wanted us to talk about, but I'll just kind of interpret it the best I can so that way it will turn into something we can talk about fluently. So here's the way I guess I'll frame it. So instead of just about the games themselves, about like older games, because not all of us have always been active gamers, and the oldest one of us was born in 96. So we're not that fucking old to begin with.
So baby.
So I'll frame the question this way. This your way. I don't know why. This your way.
And I'm the racist.
Where did that come from? I don't know. So here's how I'm going to frame it. Do you guys... Okay, let's compare... Yes. I'm trying to think of the best way to frame it so that way the conversation happens. So let's frame it this way.
You must have saw the new Donkey video.
Donkey. Graphics versus graphics. No, but do you guys like the way games are released, monetized, and marketed today versus how about when we were kids?
No. I hate the whole DLC craze and the not releasing completed games. Like, I think it's the stupidest thing. Like, pre-release content, I think, is dumb.
Ubisoft's way of doing it, where it's like, hey, this is 4 years down the road, but does it look fucking awesome? Oh, 4 years go by, and now it looks
now it looks like ass.
And the servers don't work. It's very much a hype train sort of thing, which I'm not a fan of. Like with No Man's Sky and all that.
I missed it when games came out, and they came out fully with the intended content.
Yeah.
That's it's supposed to be.
And it worked.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah. Day
it was
one.
finished.
Yeah. What was the last game that worked day one? Like, multiplayer game that worked day one?
Probably any of the sports games. I feel like they would work day
Okay,
one.
Overwatch?
That's because Overwatch did work day one.
Even
But there's not
honestly,
many.
even that was pretty.
I remember
pretty much
GTA had a hard time.
That I was
bringing
very
up.
surprised, and I was very complimentary
GTA
of them.
sucked.
GTA was didn't
Day
they
one. It had
released-
such a hard time coming
GTA
out.
Well,
Online
they're online.
sucked
Yeah,
day
they're
one.
online
came out 2 weeks later.
Yeah, 2
Remember
weeks
that.
later, and then it took about another week and a half for you to really be able to connect to a game in a reliably.
It took 2 weeks after the game released for you to be able to play online with somebody. Like, God forbid, like that entire section where you were creating your character, that never worked.
Right. I
That
remember the
sucked.
Division day one was so fucking stupid. I have screenshots. I'll send it to you so that you can put it in the link though.
Oh, yeah, wasn't it just like everybody waiting in line?
You were literally
Oh,
on a
yeah.
line that was just people in a virtual world on a line to get to a computer that's in a virtual world to start the game.
remember
And
that.
people were yelling at each other to stay in the line and shit like that. And people
Stay
would try to
along,
cut and
bastard.
everything. It was so fucking bad. Imagine being at any line ever in a supermarket or whatever, but everyone's anonymous. Yeah, everyone's gonna try to fucking cut. But there were some people that were just being very polite and they were just kind of stay in the middle. And it took about 30 minutes, that line, because once you would press like X on it or whatever, or enter, and you would have to listen to a whole fucking dialogue about it, and then you could start your game. And it was just a small room packed with like 50 people on a line. It's the
it's
funniest
like,
shit I've ever seen.
Release a working game. I don't
That
ask
wasn't
for too
even not
much.
working. That worked as intended. It was just stupid.
Yeah, but it didn't work because they couldn't like have more than one person at the
Well,
thing.
that's the thing. That wasn't like a glitch. They just didn't think that
Yeah.
this would be a problem.
Yeah, beta test your game better.
I remember
Yeah.
the whole thing where you could block people off from like progressing just by standing in the doorway.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, man?
But I would say, though, when I think about it, the real shifting point in games coming out as complete packages, whether they're multiplayer or not, and them slowly turning into the season pass / microtransaction / whatever the fuck we have now, was probably around, I want to say, the last generation of consoles, around the time when Call of Duties were becoming the real mainstream and real popular with Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Honestly,
'Cause
I would say even before that with World at War, with the zombie DLC stuff.
The first Modern Warfare is before World at War.
No, but I'm saying before Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because you said Modern Warfare 2.
Well, I'm saying in that era of Call of Duty is
Yeah.
like because I still kind of have like almost memories of advertisements for the get the map packs for Call of Duty and then get your Mountain Dew and then get your
Yeah.
double XP weekend.
I
All that
remember how they always partnered with, I guess it was like Pepsi or Coke or some shit, and you're like, it was, get this code under any partnered Coke bottle in the cap and put it online and do this, and you'll get this one item that's not worth it. And I actually did it because I'm an idiot. And
Big
that was
surprise.
a lot of stupid fucking marketing that's just irrelevant to gamers. Oh, you're a nerd. You're gonna love to just drink copious amounts of Coca-Cola. Cause fuck your health.
I love Coca-Cola
I do
for
too.
that reason.
I love the word
Not for
copious.
gaming. I don't put the two together. Gaming and a beverage. This is my fucking beverage. It's a gallon of fucking milk. This is my gaming beverage.
Do you just leave that there?
Yeah.
Does
Always.
it get warm?
Over time,
always.
not instantly. It's a gallon of milk. It keeps itself cold for quite some time.
Do
He
you
has
drink
his
the whole
whole
thing
life.
in one sitting?
No. I drink 4 gallons a week, roughly.
Roughly 4 gallons a week.
I'm going to drink a little bit more right now.
He drinks in a week about as much a cow can produce in like I think a day or two.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a fact.
That was just an estimation based on what I think about cow bellies.
Hey, what you think about cow bellies? Let us know on our Twitter.
Yeah.
So-
Is that too soon podcast?
So
See those
to
cow
kind of stay
titties.
to stay around the topic though, what's like an older game before? I want to say like before the previous generation of consoles, like 360, PS3, Wii era. Before that era, what was like the first game that you played that was so big and had so much to do in it that you feel like, man, this is like such a complete package. This is so worth like getting this.
Mario 64.
That's a good one.
I feel like that game had so much like shit. Like you didn't know what to do with it.
I remember not having a clue if I beat it or not.
Yeah,
Because I didn't know anything about games, and I just walked around and collected shit.
Well, you had to get
whatever.
64 stars, I think, to actually beat
you had to get
Yeah, see,
64
I
stars.
had
to
no
get-
idea.
And then to get
The
Yoshi
max
on
is
top
Literally
of it.
anything that
Absolutely
you know
don't get
about
up
the
to 20.
game, other than
Yeah.
its appearance, I did not know. I had
Yep.
no fucking clue. I remember walking up those infinite stairs, and I'm like, does this end? And I kept going. I was like, eventually it's got to.
man?
Is this the game?
Is this the game?
I feel like for me, I can't pick which one in the series it was, but I feel like some of the first games that I really played, like, man, these are like full of so much stuff for me to really like feel like this is a whole experience. Was when I played through the Jack series as a kid.
Oh, I love Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. Those were some of my games. Sly Cooper, like that.
For me,
some of my favorite games.
especially with the with the Jack games in particular, I feel like they had such like a crazy ass blend of like they had lots of missions, variety in gameplay, interesting. Like it's just like that. That's what kind of led me like those type of action platform games in that era is what led me down to playing games eventually like Skyrim and stuff that were even bigger, even more to do. So
my friends got me into Skyrim. That's like they're all the RPG guys, so they were like, "Yo, fucking Elder Scrolls, man." I was like, "I ain't."
I played Oblivion
Nobody's
before
mentioned yet San Andreas.
Oh yeah, San
That's
Andreas.
another
that
one.
is a
Oh my
GTA
god!
5 was my
I
first
played
GTA.
the fuck out of San
What?
Andreas. Holy
Yep.
shit!
I
You
was
ever
a
played
Saints
GTA
Row
4?
boy.
Oh
No,
my
I was a
God.
Saints Row boy.
4?
Saints Row 2.
GTA 4 is good, dog.
I didn't play it.
4 is still my favorite.
By the time
GTA story.
By the time I wanted to play it, it was kind of too late to get it because A, GTA 5 was on its way out, and B, no one played it anymore. And C, I'm not a single player guy, so it was all about the multiplayer.
Man, San
I
Andreas.
played the single player.
San Andreas
One-
holds up too.
My one
I was-
complaint about GTA 4 was the driving.
Yeah,
God
the
awful.
gameplay was not great, but the story was
The
amazing.
shooting was great in GTA 4.
Yeah, shooting.
I
It
like-
was mainly the driving that was.
Because like
Yeah,
GTA
driving
5
killed me.
shooting is basically GTA 4's but more refined.
Yeah,
I hated the driving.
yeah,
Especially
driving
missions
was
with
actually
driving.
the worst. I
At
wish
least the
that.
cars move realistically though.
Yeah,
Like,
but that
I
was
mean, yeah,
annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great, like playing wise, but like they moved and like had realistic like weight physics.
Yeah, but the one thing that I can give GTA 4 is that it like made me fall in love with one specific car, and that was the Sultan RS. Like
Still like that in GTA 5.
that is my favorite fucking car, and then
Yeah.
in turn the real version of the car, the Mitsubishi Lancer, like that is my dream car. I want that.
Yeah, GTA 4 got me into the Banshee in that game, which is also in 5 and also has the cool upgrades.
Yeah, and it's like one of the fastest cars.
Yeah, I
in
think that
GTA
is
5.
like top speed wise the fastest.
Yeah, it doesn't have the fastest acceleration, but long distance it'll. We did some testing a while back
Yeah,
All right, and
that was
then I guess
that was pretty fun.
against the what was it, X80 or whatever, Proto.
Yeah, again, no, I don't think it was the Proto. I think it was just before the Proto came out. Maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure I had the Proto. I was the first with the Proto, and that's
Oh,
what
yeah?
we were testing. Because you were like, "Yeah, the Banshee's the best," and I didn't believe you. And then we tested, and I was like, "Oh
and
shit!"
then it all worked out.
Yeah, and then right after that, I got my my Banshee.
Yeah, I convinced everyone to get a Banshee.
so. One more aspect of the question, just to be safe, because like he wasn't very specific of what he meant, but I'll ask one more version of it. So, do you guys lately, or if ever, have you ever found yourself like going towards older games that you either missed or you just were nostalgic for because you either played it or didn't play it? If
Oh,
that
yeah, I
makes
was thinking
sense,
about
you know?
buying Harvest Moon on my PS4.
Yeah, I almost went and downloaded a bunch of games from like on PlayStation 2 emulators for my PC, but none of them fucking work. It's a shame.
I want to, but I would have to get Xbox Live for most of them, and I don't
Really?
want to do that. Yeah, because pretty much most of my 90% of my gaming life before PC was Xbox. So,
I did replay Borderlands 2 on the PC, but that was one of my favorite games on the Xbox 360. Still holds
Borderlands
up.
2 is available on the Humble Bundle for $1.
I mean, I own all the Borderlands games, so
Yeah, you can get all the Borderlands games
Like,
on the Humble Bundle for like $10 right now.
I want to
play
say
some
either
Doritos
last
Crash
year
Course.
or the beginning of this year, I bought
Doritos Crash Course was great.
a game called Dark Cloud. That was a RPG of the PlayStation 2.
Did it rain?
No.
Heavy rain?
Yo, Heavy Rain was a terrible game.
I just know there was a game and
Terrible
rain.
game, pretty good story. Yeah, I combine the word game and rain.
Rain.
Yeah, I feel like if the game was slightly better, the story, like, I would actually, the story would make up for it.
Playing
but
LA
it was
Noire.
ass. I own that game and I never played it.
It's really good.
Games like Heavy Rain are almost like the precursors to like Telltale style games. So
I don't like Telltale either.
I liked Walking Dead season 1. That's the only one I've done.
Yeah, season 1 was good. I think
Life is Strange isn't, even though it's not a Telltale, it's in the same style.
I watched the Game of Thrones Telltale because
I thought that Life is
Game
Strange
of Thrones hype.
was the cringiest game I've ever seen anybody play.
Did you watch me play it, or did you just watch it?
Nah, I watched other people play it.
He doesn't like you.
Yeah, I hate you. I don't think you played it when I talked to you.
No, that was like only that was like last year, like the middle of last year.
I don't remember you playing it.
But I actually got a PS3 like way early 2016 just because I wanted to play a bunch of remasters, because some of the coolest HD remasters have come out for PS3. At the time, it was the Kingdom Hearts games before the PS4 version came out.
I really wish that they would make a Sly Cooper remake for the PS4. Because they made it for the PS3 and they aren't releasing it for the PS3.
And they have the Jack and Daxter trilogy HD remastered, and what they're doing in the PS4 I didn't like. I thought they were doing HD remasters again, but no. They released the PS2 versions up-resed.
Oh, yeah?
So they look kind of worse than the PS3 version. But
I played the remake. I don't know if you would consider it a remake or a remaster of the Ratchet and Clank. The first one?
That's a remake.
That was a really fucking good game.
Yeah, it was a good game, but in retrospect, I was watching some videos about that franchise, and the PS4 Ratchet and Clank is like...
No, it was nothing like the originals. But
no,
it's
a good game. No, it was a fun game, but like as far as like the characters and like the feel, definitely a lot more kiddie.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which is kind of a shame, because like if you go back and play the original Ratchet games, they're kind of
they're a little more gritty.
Yeah, they're gritty,
and
they're
they
kind of
also are very sexual,
and lots of adult humor thrown in there too.
Yep. Hell, the second game is called Going Commando. Third one's called Up Your Arsenal.
Oh, that's the one I played.
Yeah,
Up Your Arsenal.
Great games. Like, don't get me wrong.
I didn't really play the single player because you know me, I don't play single player. But what I did was, anytime I had like a sleepover or something, we would either play against each other in the multiplayer mode.
The like tower defense.
It was fucking cool.
That was one of the most fun things.
It was. I love that like Harrier jet thing that it had.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
That game was fun. That was a good game.
That was probably the first game, only game at that time that I was ever excited to play a video game for.
Yeah.
Like, I have someone to play with. Let's play this. And even if they didn't want to, I'm like, no, let's fucking do
No. We're playing this game.
Because it's either that or build a fort in the basement. Those are the other options. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do at night. You're not going to go out in the woods.
Or I went outside.
I went outside during the day.
I went outside.
He makes fun of me for having a childhood.
He makes fun of me for apparently never going outside.
I never said you'd never. All I've ever said is I went outside more than not. So
no, you said
I didn't.
Whenever I talk about like, me playing a video game like way back, like I've played like Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Daxter, it was like, oh yeah, I didn't play those games because I went outside.
Yeah,
I was like, I went outside too.
Well, obviously I went outside more.
Nah.
Because the time that you were doing that, I was outside. So
I just knew how to
more.
manage my time better, my mans.
Well, I was distracted by frogs and trees.
Yeah.
That was literally my whole fucking childhood. I
was about to say,
frogs and trees. What?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, you see that frog? Let's get that nigga.
Yeah, I caught a lot of frogs and tadpoles and almost got bit by a snapping turtle.
I used to catch lizards when I was younger.
I caught lizards when I'd go to the Bahamas.
I have a very a very strange memory about frogs that comes up every now and then. It's not that bad. So I remember
stories.
Well,
Probably
when
fucked
I was
it.
no, the only animal I have fucked
In your car.
are my hands.
Your hands aren't an animal, dipshit.
You haven't met my hands. Actually, you have.
Don't say it like that. I have not met your hands, motherfucker.
You've seen these hands in work. They can throw a ring faster than any other hands in the southeast.
We didn't throw them. We kind of like dropped.
Drooped
them.
We drooped him.
We're ring troopers.
Back when I lived with both my parents and all my siblings. That's a long time ago.
Way back.
Way back in the day.
Throwback.
Back when I had something.
Back when I was happy.
But
Motherfucker, you got a fucking apartment now, right? You're fine.
yeah, it worked out. But so me and my brother, he's a couple years younger than me. I remember like because like when I was a kid, we had like a really big driveway, so we would like skateboard, bikes, scooter, like razor scooters, whatever like good thing for pavement. We would always do in the driveway. And in Florida in the summer, especially when you have it gets hot. But not only does it get hot, it gets humid. And if you live close to a body of water,
thank you.
lots of stuff comes in your
Lots
yard.
of skeeters.
At one point, an alligator did, but that's not the story.
Did you ride it?
No, it just kind of stayed in my front yard, and then my mom was like, "No way's leaving the house."
We're not leaving the house right now.
I was like,
thank you.
What if it knocked on your door?
I missed like half the day at school.
What if it went through your window?
No, it just kind of just hanging down the front
What if
yard.
it
Just kind
stood
of
on
there.
its hind legs and rang your doorbell?
Let me in.
What
It's
if
It
hot.
sang you a
What if someone
show
just
tune.
threw it onto your lawn like a
This was
transmission?
This was like almost a 15-foot alligator.
What
And?
the fuck?
It's a big boy.
Yeah, he was very big, but no, I guess I'll tell the alligator story before I tell the other one. But just real, so basically, he had because like in my childhood, I lived right next to a river. He crawled from the river up the road to our yard because he apparently was like trying to kill our dog or eat our dog.
For him, it's just called walking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't crawl.
suppose
He sauntered on.
he was low to the ground.
He was extra close to the ground.
So would
basically-
you call a lowrider a crawler?
Yeah. So all he ended up doing is just staying in the yard. Eventually, animal control came. They threw him in the trunk, and then they asked us like, "Do you want to pet the alligator?" I'm like, "Yeah."
You want to pet it?
We pet the alligator. I went to
Assuming
school.
they taped its mouth.
Yeah.
No.
So
Pet its teeth.
so and this was like around like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I finally go to actually probably not that late because so like around noon I finally go to school. Like and my dad has explained like there was a gator in our yard. We didn't want to like have our kids be bit by a gator. And my dad, to also bring proof, he actually like he was recording the gator. So like he showed my class at the time
He brought the alligator.
and then everyone was like,
a
"Thank
doctor's
you."
note.
Kinda, and then my dad showed the whole class like, "Look, this was in our yard this morning. This is why we were late." And then everybody's like, "Thank you, Mr. David," which is my dad's name. I was like, "This is a weird day. Like, why is everybody thinking my
Shouldn't
dad's
that be
show alligator
commonplace though in Florida? You got fucking alligators
no.
everywhere.
It's like, there was a gator in our yard. Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that
It's like, oh, my driveway
it
was
would've
too
been
icy
better
this
if he was
morning.
like,
yeah,
Hey,
too
you
much
guys
snow
want
in my
alligator?
driveway. Yeah.
But the original frog story, though. So same yard, different animal, much smaller.
It didn't crawl as much.
So me and my brother, one day we were riding our bikes. It's getting into the late evening, almost nighttime, and for some reason our driveway in our yard, literally hundreds of frogs, like small frogs, just all over the place.
Jesus.
Like no, I mean
much
hundreds. Like,
Exodus.
it's just they were all over.
The
Like
Exodus.
Jesus Christ. So we were like at first we were catching them and just like playing like, oh look, there's
Just
an
roll
animals.
around in them.
Eventually we got
Just
bored
take a
of
bite.
playing with the frogs and we took our bikes. We started rolling them
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
all
Just-
over.
You just committed frog genocide.
We were killing
You're
so
the
many.
kid that I would have fucking hated if I met you in real life.
Well,
I
see,
think
that's the thing.
You'd
though.
have been the
I'm
one that
pretty
turned
sure
me
that's
to
a sign
violence
of being a
before the
serial
bully
killer.
that
Like-
bullied me for 4 years did.
But here's the thing: I've never like really like ever killed animals or anything besides that. But these are just
Besides
tiny
rolling a
frogs.
bike over thousands of frogs, I've never killed any animal. You're a fucking
Hundreds.
saint. I don't
but-
even kill a fly or a mosquito if it's in my house. I will shoo it out the door.
Nah, I killed those. But
I
but
killed
then
those
remember,
fuckers.
But then I remember my mom coming outside and like she saw what we were doing. Like, what the? She didn't say it like that. She's like, what are you guys doing?
Hey, you're
She's
a
just-
fucking idiot.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is a little weird. And then I didn't do it ever again.
Man, it's weird
This
to
is weird.
commit genocide against an animal that's helpless.
God damn, bro. That's some fucked up shit.
We were already on our bikes when they were coming into the yard, so just
Don't explain. Just
All right. I don't think that I can associate with Trenton anymore because he is a serial killer.
He's a fucking frog killer. That's the name of this episode.
all right, music.
Wait, you mentioned alligators, and it made me think of. Do you guys
Alligator
remember
music?
Alligator music?
I come from a land down under.
Do you guys remember
better
when
run.
that kid in Disney World got eaten by an alligator? That baby.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
wasn't that
yeah.
long ago.
Yeah,
That
it was like last year, maybe.
no, that was like probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's definitely not when we were in college, I don't think.
Really? Well, whatever. It was not long ago, but that exact place I used to go to all the fucking time. I used to just play on that beach and look at the sign that said no swimming, and I'm like, why? Is it because the boats? There's no waves. Like
There's
like,
alligators.
yeah. It never occurred to me at all, which is kind of fucking terrifying that they didn't have any little image like, hey, alligators exist in Florida.
Nah,
You're not
I mean,
in
here's the
heaven
thing,
like you
though.
think you are.
I would not be surprised if people just like were like, oh, I'm gonna put my foot in, and then they get
No,
their
yeah,
foot
the
in.
amount of times I went waist deep in that place just because I'm like, fuck this is stupid. I should be able to go in here.
Fuck
I go
the
in the
rules.
ocean all the time. But yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
Or it's like, fuck the rules, man. I'm better than you.
I'm better than an
You
alligator.
die.
I can body surf. I can handle this pond.
Well, I mean, there are sharks in the ocean. There's just, I guess, less per gallon of water for compared to Florida and alligators.
See, well, the difference is sharks are usually really far in the water. Usually
Yeah.
only come close if they're like looking.
And they
for
don't
something
really
to eat.
attack people.
They're looking for the
Alligators-
business.
Yeah, alligators are just kind of all over the place. Like they can be like towards the water, deep of it,
Yeah.
whatever. And as soon as they see something, like I'll bite it.
I mean, I don't want to
That
promote
looks
the
tasty.
stigma against sharks because then it just promotes the killing of sharks, which is unnecessary. They're not that scary, guys. They're fine.
Yeah, well,
Don't
I'd
be a
rather
pussy
people
and
kill
kill a
sharks than
shark.
fucking
Hey,
dolphins in Japan because they
I
eat
don't
them.
know. If I was face to face with a shark, I'd probably try to kill
And
him.
whales.
Well, if
I'd
it's
punch
attacking
it.
me, I will defend myself, but I'm not going to be like, oh, there's a fin. I'm going to swim towards it and punch it.
No,
That's not my
I gotta sit
And I'm
my
not going to
ground
just
and I'll
shoot
punch
it
in
for
the
no
face.
reason. Just because
Whale
it's a shark.
Wars? Was that it?
Yeah,
Whale
Whale Wars was
Wars.
the thing. I
That was
think.
like viral too and like really popular when it was.
It was like a documentary, right? About how...
it was a reality
the
show
Japanese,
about
like-
how like they're basically protesters were trying to stop Japanese whalers from killing
Yeah.
whales and dolphins.
Yeah, I remember all the they would basically have water fights because they weren't allowed to use guns, so they would spray hoses at each other.
And
It's
like,
so
well, I
fucking
mean,
stupid.
Well, they would also like shoot like this gas that smelled terrible and also would ruin meat. So that way
Right.
the meat they were collecting was going to waste.
But the
so they
thing
wouldn't-
is, those people are only doing it because they need food and they need a living. So these foreigners show up and spray their food. It's kind of
Yeah, just destroy their food.
kind of
It's kinda
fucking
fucked up.
awful
Well,
both
I mean-
ways.
I mean,
Both
because
ways
honestly-
it sucks. There's no real hero there.
there's a lot of fishing businesses in Japan though. It's an island country. They don't have to be whaling.
If
Yeah.
if they feel that they have to, then they have to. I don't kill flies. I don't kill anything. I don't like killing. I don't like hearing about anything that dies. I don't like hunting. But if it is your fucking way of life and you need it to live, I will let you do it. I guess.
Okay,
Not
I
that
got-
I'm
I
in
got-
charge.
As a
I'll
child, I had
allow
to
it.
kill
I'll
frogs.
allow it. I'll let it slide this time.
You gotta go through me first. But
Next
I'll
time, get an
allow it.
accounting job or
Next
something.
time.
Next life, when you're reincarnated, make sure you go to college or something. Well, nah.
Let's
You don't
drop our
have to
hot
go to college.
recommendation
You can- yeah.
before this is an hour and a half episode. 'Cause Nobody
Right.
wants that.
Music.
I'm gonna suggest Asian Jake Paul by iDubbbz. It's actually on iTunes.
Oh yeah, I think it's on iTunes, but is it on Spotify?
It's on Spotify.
I am actually going to recommend two songs that are both made by my cousin. And he's
iDubbbz.
Don't recommend two songs. Don't you dare do it. Do next.
I do what I want. I'm in
Recommend
charge
a
of this
second
fucking
one
playlist,
next
and
week.
I got a musician for
do
a
a,
motherfucking cousin.
do a
alright?
second one next week, you bastard.
No, I'm trying to promote his shit. His name is Dylan Hathaway.
No exceptions.
You're not. You're the last person in charge of this.
No exceptions.
TR.
DRE.
More regressions.
What about you guys?
I don't even name the song. Oh, here's the name.
Well-
Time is not infinite and streaming through. I like streaming through better.
Are those his only pieces of music?
His only 2 professionally recorded songs that I know of that are and they're on
Professionally
Spotify.
recorded how?
He went to a studio.
He paid money?
Yes,
How much?
I think it was
Enough.
$100 a song.
Enough.
Ooh.
But he made like he told me he made like $400 just from busking one day.
Well, I'm going to drop a sad one. You guys remember Linkin Park, obviously.
No.
Never heard of it.
Well,
Where is this Linkin Park?
Well,
Everyone in that band's still
Do
alive.
you mean
right?
Abraham
Yeah,
Lincoln?
no, they're all
well,
good.
no, I mean, for some reason, a bunch of stuff about Linkin Park and Chester came up in my recommendations on YouTube today, and I was going through it, and I realized, like, wait, that album they released this year, I never even listened to any tracks on it.
Not a fan of their new stuff.
Well, I was curious because, like, that album didn't even come out, like, 2 months before Chester killed himself, so I was interested in interested in what it was.
Down. That's
Jesus.
a GTA 5
Man,
reference.
too soon.
It's also
Too
it's a
soon.
real thing. So
But I was
just come out of nowhere.
listening to a little bit, and I really liked the first track. It's called "Nobody Can Save Me" by Linkin Park. It's actually pretty cool. I like it.
not even himself.
Yeah, honestly, Linkin Park had a lot of songs that were very, like, explicitly about suicide. Yet nobody really caught
I
on.
saw it coming.
Like, but yeah.
I'm dropping
Trey,
it.
what you suggesting, boy?
Trey, Shadow Boy.
Shadow Man.
He's gonna go further into the void. All I see is your teeth,
Yeah, you gotta
All
stop
I see is
smiling.
his chest hair.
the whites of your eyes, and your teeth.
My chest. I'll do Sierra Leone by Frank Ocean.
Good look.
All right,
Yeah. So that's a podcast.
that's a wrap. Hope
right,
we
guys.
talked about what you wanted us to talk about.
I want
And
you guys
kinda.
just to remember, if you remember one thing from this podcast, just remember that you can follow us on Twitter at Too Soon Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook. We're Too Soon Podcast. If you want to hit us up on YouTube, we are on YouTube. We are the Too Soon Podcast.
Maybe
Not
some
the Too
clips
Soon
from this
Podcast,
podcast
just
will end
Too
up
Soon
there.
Podcast. Yeah, you might see our faces on YouTube. Who fucking knows?
Maybe
If you want to
we'll title it
download,
face reveal.
if you want to download our podcast, I know you're already listening to it, but if you want to listen to it on other platforms, go to iTunes, Google Play, Libsyn, Stitcher, TuneIn. We're on all the podcasting places. If you want to send us an email like our good friends that have emailed us already, hit us up at thetwoosooncrew@gmail.com. If you want to check out the music that we post every week, Discord. No, wait, that's the Too Soon playlist. Yo, I'm
Yeah,
tired.
that's what it is.
Yo, we're recording
It's
this
not on
way too
Discord.
late.
It's on
We're
Spotify.
recording this too late.
it's
at this
4
point.
This is
a.m.
very
right now.
late, and I have a midterm tomorrow, and I need to study.
Yeah, so we're the Too Soon playlist on Spotify, and then if you want to hit us up, talk to us on Discord, maybe play some games with us, maybe play some PUBG, who the fuck knows? We're on discord.me/TooSoonPodcast, and I don't know if Trenton does it as often as I promote it, but check out our friend Tasty Melons. His name is Mallow. He's a pretty cool guy on SoundCloud. He puts some musics up. We get to use that musics. You listen to the musics. Maybe you like the musics. You listen to the musics. Give him support for the musics.
He doesn't have that many songs, but I still try to go through all his tracks. I've used I think more than half of the music he has ever made on SoundCloud. So get on it, Mallow.
Yeah, Mallow, make more music specifically for us.
Yeah. And then eventually, at some point, you will be on the podcast, even though we have yet to organize that, because we really don't organize anything about this other than the fact that we record on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll make a theme song, an official theme song, so that way we'll
Ba-ba-da-ba.
That's our thing. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to Too Soon Podcast, episode 26. We'll be back next Saturday for more delicious audio.
Hell yeah, boo.
Bye.
Yeah, boy.